Did you recently get ghosted by someone you were in a relationship with or someone you were talking to? I'm going to tell you what you can do about it. Ghosting is something that's become super prevalent in our modern day society, and I'm not really sure why. Personally, I think it's super concerning that people are behaving in this way when they don't want to date someone anymore or they don't want to see someone anymore. I think if we were really to dig into the psychology of it, a lot of it has to do with the fact that many people nowadays are conflict avoidant. Now, I think it's important to understand that most of the time, I don't think people do this to be mean. I think they do it because they are scared of confrontation. They don't know what the response is going to be. So it's just easier to completely cut someone off and to disappear. And there are all different kinds of ghosting. You can ghost someone that you're friends with. You can ghost someone that you went on 1 or 2 dates with. Or you could even ghost someone that you've been in a relationship with for years. Believe me, it can happen. Unfortunately, I know firsthand what that looks like, and it hurts. It's so incredibly hurtful when you've built this connection with someone, you are incredibly close to them, you know them very intimately, and then they suddenly decide that they don't want that relationship with you anymore, and so they take off. The thing that I want you to remember more than anything, if you are getting ghosted, you've recently been ghosted, is that it's not a reflection of your self-worth. Okay? Someone doing this to you is way more of a reflection of the type of person that they are and the type of personality that they have and maybe the type of character that they have, but it's not a reflection of your worthiness. I also want to reassure you that it's totally normal to be frustrated, confused, sad. It absolutely makes sense to feel all of those things because this is not quote unquote normal behavior or what I would consider mature behavior. So before you consider blaming yourself or thinking that maybe you did something wrong in this situation to make this person react that way, that's likely not the case. Like I said, this has nothing to do with your worthiness as a person, your worthiness of love, relationship, friendship, anything like that. Another thing I want to encourage you not to do in this situation is to try to contact this person, to chase after them, to try to get that closure and understand why they disappeared. And if you think it's something you did, wanting to know what it was, don't even bother. You're wasting your time, I promise. And the reason for that is this. Communication is so incredibly important to have in any relationship, especially in a romantic relationship or a romantic partnership. By this person ghosting you, what they're doing essentially is telling you that they're not a good communicator. So really consider that. Is that the type of person that you would be able to build a healthy relationship with? Probably not. It would probably have to take some work on their part for them to be able to process why they are conflict avoidant and being able to deal with that. And that's something that person is going to have to deal with as an individual on their own. It's not something that you're going to be able to help them get out of. Because a lot of times we make the mistake of thinking that if we stick around with someone and try to help them with their issues, that eventually they'll change and they'll become the person that we want them to be. And that's typically not the case. And if you've been in patterns with people like this, maybe that they stick around for a little while and everything's great and then all of a sudden they disappear, then you may be someone who is prone to dating people that are just runners. And it's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with you in this situation, but you have to understand those patterns and you have to say, okay, so what I really need is someone who is a better communicator or someone that's been better at communicating than what I have dealt with in the past with other people. Now, regardless of the reason, the fact that someone is doing this is an indication that they need space. They need to get away from this relationship for whatever reason that is. It's not really your concern at this moment. And sometimes people will resurface and they will show up again. And then at that point, you really have to consider whether you're open to having a communication about what happened and what you would need to do differently in the future. But that's Another topic for a whole nother time. In the meantime, if this person ghosted you, it means they need space. And whatever the reason is, that is theirs to deal with. So it's not going to benefit you to continually try to contact them and to try to get answers and continue to pursue them. And I understand how hard this is because you're angry and you're upset and you just want answers or you just want closure, but it's really not going to benefit you, not at this particular moment in time. In my personal opinion, if you are a mature, grown adult and you are behaving in this way, that is very cowardly. Now, if you are the ghosted person in this situation, your main priority should be maintaining your dignity and your self-respect. And that means not chasing after this person. Just like any other breakup situation, the most important thing that you can do at this time is just to focus on yourself. And it might sound a little bit cliche, or it might sound like it's something that you can't even fathom thinking about right now, but that is what's going to help you be able to move on from this. Because this person's emotions, whatever they're going through, the reasons maybe why that they did this, that's up to them to figure out. That's not your problem right now. They're not asking you to be a part of that problem. They're trying to separate themselves from the relationship. So let them. Let them go ahead, figure out whatever they need to figure out. It's not your concern right now. Your concern is you dealing with your own emotions and your feelings as you process this. And if nothing else, it's going to teach you a lesson. It's going to teach you how not to treat people. And it's also going to teach you things that you really need to be looking for in the future as you continue on your dating journey or you continue making new friendships. Is this person a good communicator? Is this person honest? Is this person trustworthy? Does this person have integrity? Does this person maybe have a ton of baggage that I'm not equipped to handle? Because sometimes we don't want to admit that to ourselves, right? We always want to help people. It's in our nature to want to help people and support them and help them become the person that they were meant to be, especially if that's something that we're trying to do for ourselves. But not everybody is there yet. You can't bring someone up to that place if they don't want to go. You can always encourage them and be supportive, but they are ultimately the ones that have to make that decision. I want you to know and I want you to believe that healthier, more fulfilling relationships are possible, and that's what you deserve. You deserve to be with someone that is going to be able to meet you where you're at. You deserve to be with someone whose vision is aligned with yours. You are heading in the same direction and you can work together as a team. So I know being ghosted hurts. It's mean, it's cowardly, it's not something that you should have had to deal with. And I am so sorry that you did. But like I've said, everything's either a blessing or it's a lesson. So remember this. Try to do your best to find people that are going to respect you, respect your time, value you, and make sure that you remember how this feels and don't do it to anyone else. I want to encourage you, and especially if you are in the younger generations, and this is what you see going on, because I see it going on a lot, is that even in the dating world, people are ghosting each other left and right because it's easier just to avoid that conflict. But I want you to know that it's okay to have hard conversations. There's a lot of value in being able to have hard conversations, and it's not going to be the end of the world. If you've been ghosted or you are dealing with a difficult breakup and you need some help, you need some resources, I made a free breakup reading guide. I will put the link in the description. These books have helped me tremendously, not only be able to get over my own heartbreak, but to learn about myself and learn about relationships. And I think it's going to be super valuable for you. So if you want that breakup reading list, the link is in the description, and I will see you in the next video.